Hey guys, good evening. Shall we start? I hope I'm audible, right? Okay, fine. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third session of Python. So, today we are actually going to discuss three topics basically, and they are the iterators, loops, and Python string operators. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get started to the coding session. I hope collab is visible right now. Can anyone of you just confirm that whether it is visible or not? Okay, fine. Okay, so basically the three topics that we are actually going to cover today is I have already told, which is Python iterators, loops in Python, and Python string methods or the string operators. Okay, so we have already seen some of the string operators in the earlier sessions, but we are actually going to discuss the string operators in details today as well. Okay, so the first topic is iterators. So let me just name that here. Um, iterators. Okay. So basically, an iterator is an object that can be iterated upon the significance of the data that you are actually giving. Why I have told that it is actually being iterated on the significance of data means, suppose I have a list with me. Okay. In that list, if I am actually putting it or the iteration operator, if I am just iterating one element of a list at a time. If I'm doing that in a string, I can get one letter at a time. Okay, so that is how the iter operator actually works on Python, and that iterator actually works within two operators, which is iter and next. Iter is used to make that as an iterable object, and the next is used to iterate or take the next value from the source of the data. So that is how it actually works. So list, tuple, dictionaries, and such stuffs are actually iterable objects. So they are iterable when that iter function is called or the iter operator is called. So let's see an example of that. I'm just taking a list here. Python C, C++, and Java. So I have actually mentioned four programming languages here, which is Python, C, C++, and Java. I'm trying to make this as an iterable object. Okay, so equal to of languages and print next of iter. Okay, so let's see the output of the code snippet that we have typed right now. It's getting connected only. Let's see. Let's wait for 1 minute. Yeah, it's connected. Now we should get an output here. Okay, I got the output as Python here. Let me give one more iter operator here. Let's see what will be the output. I got Python and C. So now the output is actually interpretable. If I give a third operator or the third time print operator with the next of iter, I'll get C++. Yes. If I give that one more time, I'll get Java. I got Java as well. What will happen if I give iter once again? Let's see. I got an error here because stop iteration, because there is no element which can actually satisfy this condition. Okay, because there is only 4 elements in a list right now. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. These 4 iterations will actually work, and this won't work. The iteration will get stopped. So that is how the iter operator actually works in what I can say, like in our Python interpreter. So let's see how you can actually do this with some other examples. I'm just removing this thing from here, and I'm just giving a string here, Python, and let's see what will be the output. Pytho, Pytho. I got the letters printed, or the letters iterated and got printed at the output of next iter. Let me just give one more value here. Let's see the output as well. Python, I got Python. Now let's see how if 2 words are in a string. So I'm not giving 2 words, I'm giving a phrase here. I love Python. Let's see what is the output. I got I and love here because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, I actually took as the first iteration. The space actually got iterated as the second iteration. LOVE, that means 4 indexes again iterated as the next 4 iterations. So that makes a amount of 6 iterations here. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is how that 6 iteration operation is actually getting operated here. Okay, so these are the basic structure of iteration operator. Let's move on to the next topic, which is the loops. Okay. I'll actually take, if you have any doubts after finishing loops, let's see about the loop statement then. Oops. So let's see about the looping statements right now. Here I can say that looping statements are actually used in order to iterate. I have did an iteration here in the following steps, in the previous steps, because you can see that I have did a 6 iterations. Suppose, what if I have to do an iteration till n times? Okay, I can't actually simply write like a print next iter, and print next iter to n times, because like if I am doing that for 10 times or so, I can do it like this. But what will happen if I need to do that for 100 times or 1,000 times? I can do that. Right? So for that, there is a special division in Python called loops. So a looping statement, how a looping statement actually works. So why a looping statement is there? So Python programming language provides the following types of loops for the looping requirements. So looping is basically to iterate through a given condition, and till that condition becomes false or till that condition is satisfying, that will actually get continuous to n times. Okay, so we have basically two loops in Python, which is while loop and for loop. So let's see an example of while loop initially, and then we can see an example of for loop. So while loop is used to execute a block statement repeatedly until the given condition is satisfied. Okay, so that much time it actually get works in a Python interpreter, and when the condition becomes false, that loop gets exited, or it is actually coming into the parent or the main chunk of the code. Suppose I have a big program where the looping statement or the loop is defined. Once that condition is false, the loop is exited, or that the continuous operation is exited, and it comes to the main program. So that is how a loop concept actually works. So basically the syntax is like that. While is how it actually works. So let's look at an example. I'm just giving a variable name ender here as 0, while count less than 3. I'm just giving print hello all, and ender equal to ender plus 1. Okay, so this is an increment variable or a counter variable. So counter variable is used to, sorry, I have to give ender here as well. Ender. So counter variable is actually used to see if the condition is becoming false. So here it will execute from 0 till the variable becomes 3, or the value of variable becomes 3. So it will execute once, then twice also it will execute, thrice it will execute. Then another execution is not possible here because the value is given 3 here. So less than 3 it will execute. So it will execute 3 times here. Let's see the output. Hello all, hello all, hello all. Okay, so that is how the while loop works in the program statements. Okay, now let's see how we can actually incorporate some other conditional statements inside the while loop. I'm taking this example here from here itself, and I'm giving a else statement for this thing. Else print nothing. Let's see the output of this. See, hello all, hello all, hello all, and the loop gets exited, and I got nothing as well. So that is how the I can actually write, or we can write the conditional statements also inside, or as a part of the looping statements. Or I can give another conditions as well here. I'm giving the value 10 here, and I'm just removing these things from here. And I'm just checking that if ender mode 2 equal to 0, print ender else print ender, and I have to specify the counter statement here, which is ender plus equal to 1, or this is similar as ender equal to ender plus 1, and I'm giving that here as well. And let's see the output of this. oops, it will actually execute as an just a minute. It will get executed as an infinite loop. I just need to reframe this thing. Let's see if this statement is working. Okay. So what happened was I just given that in the thing or the counter thing inside the if statement, that is not supposed to be inside the if statement but inside the while statement only. That is why I got that infinite loop thing. Now you can see that the even numbers printed here. So let's see the else part of this thing as well. Else print the, and here also I need to specify the iteration statement. Okay. So what here happens is that this else statement is not getting executed. For that, I have to specify or give that inside the if statement. There is an invalid syntax. So the tab space is not equal here. Oh, okay. So that is because like we can't specify that tab space here because of let me see if this tab is equal or not. Okay. So I guess it's because that while statement is not accepting an else block while an if block is getting executed. So time being, let's take this part here, which is if the more 2 equal to 0, then print enter, and I am printing that counter statement also here, which is the iteration statement, which actually increments enter by 1 and it gets the odd statements here. Okay, so let me just reframe this thing. Else and here I am specifying in the plus equal to 1. Let me see if I get this correct. Yeah, that was the issue because counter statement was actually taking in both aspects. Like here also one counter statement was there, and here also it was there. So that is the reason it was actually giving an invalid syntax. Now you can see that it actually checks whether this condition is true. Then I'm getting the output of even numbers here and odd numbers here, and here that loop is incremented. Here only the loop is incremented. Rest of the things are happening inside the loop statement only, which means suppose I'm having a outer loop or the outer execution statement, I have to do some internal conditions which actually satisfies or which is actually meant for doing something inside the loop. Specifically saying that now I can see how many even numbers are there or how many odd numbers are there. According to that, I can specify these conditions. So till here, like from if to else, the conditions are actually happening and I'm getting the result according to it. Then it is actually checks is any more conditions to execute or not. If it is not, it will actually increment the loop by the number that we are actually giving, and you are getting the output. So that is how the while loop actually works. Now let's see an example of a for loop. So I'm just simply giving for I range of 0 to 10, print I. You are getting the same result of this thing here itself. Let's refine this thing also according to the previous the output of the for loop, which is print in there. Yeah, see here. So here I have to write 4 lines in order to get the same output. Here I am doing that with the help of 2 lines only. I am specifying the lower limit and upper limit and just giving that print statement only and getting down. So that's it regarding the for statement. I can actually do that simply than a while loop. But now you are actually wondering that why we need to use while statement. So there are instances where while loop is mandatory in some cases in additional programs. Like suppose you are doing something in a compiler level mode or in an OS level aspects. There are certain aspects where you need to use while loop instead of for loops. So in that cases, while loop is the apt one. Okay, so that is why we are using while loops as well. So here I'm just giving for I in range 0 to 10 print I. So I is the inder or that increment variable here, and or the variable that I'm printing, and I don't need to specify that inder plus equal to 1 or inder equal to inder plus 1, because that will automatically get executed while we are inside a for loop. So I will automatically get incremented till 10 if we are giving a condition like this. Okay. So that is how the for loop actually works within a variable. Now let's see another example of the same. I'm just removing this from here. For that, I'm just giving that initial list that I have given. Python, then C, then C++, then Java. And let's see what will happen if I give such a list here while or to print this thing. I got Python, C, C++, and Java. Okay, so this is how you can iterate a list also. If you have a list and if you need to iterate through every elements in a list, you can do it in a simpler way like this. Just give a list and just give a variable which needs to be iterated inside the list and just print it. That's it. You can do it simply. Now let's see if I can do the same for a tuple. I'm just removing the braces only, brackets only. Now, if you are giving a normal brackets, it will become a tuple. I just can do the tuple iteration also here. Now, let's see another example of a string iteration. That is one other important aspect. I'm just removing this from here and specifying here as Python. Let's see what will happen while we are printing this thing here. Python. So how this is actually working is that Python is getting detected as a string entity and there is no delimiters here. So delimiters means spaces or anything is not present here. So it takes that entity and it's split according to another operator that I will introduce to you in the coming portions of the same lecture itself. So with the help of that entity, it splits the internally and you will get one by one words, letters of a string there. That is why we are getting the one by one letters here like that. If I'm giving one more word, Python developer, I'll get the same thing in here again. Python developer. The space is also getting identified as another word, another letter or something, and I'm getting that also here. So that is how we have to do a iteration in Python or in a for loop. Now let's see with the help of some indexes how we can actually uh, do the iteration. That is also an important aspect of the looping statement. So I'm just taking that initial list again. Python, then C, then C++, then Java. For index in range of length of list, print list of index. Let's see the output of this course in fact. Python, C, C++, and Java. That is what I'm getting as an output. Thing like that here. You can see that we are, let's see the breakdown of the code. Here we have actually specified a list. Inside that list, we have 4 elements, which is Python, C, C++, and Java. And let's break this part. We have an index variable or an iteration variable, and you are checking that inside the range of this value, which means here if the length is taken, you'll get 4 here. Okay, so 4 index in range of 4. Okay, so 4 index in range of 4, print list of index. So let's see the index value also. Print allocating entity. Okay. I hope I'm audible right now. So yeah, see here, while printing the index, you are getting 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so list, here we have a list named list, and inside that you have 4 values, and here you are checking that you are iterating or taking one by one values from the length of the list, which means length, that is 4. So for index in range of 4, print list of index, means list of 0, list of 1, list of 2, and list of 3. That makes an iteration till 4. So you will get a lengthwise iteration here. That is why you are using a length operator here. That is how you are getting the output as the same that I have shown in the list iteration here itself, because you are taking the indexes out of the list and taking the value in the position of the index. So I'll get Python, C, C++, and Java in every iteration. You can also use the conditional statements inside this thing as well. No issues for that. Let me just show you one more example here. I'm just making this again. I'm simply giving for index in range 5, print index. See, I have given the value which is 5 only, and I got the values printed as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why means I don't need to give a lower limit here in order to make it will start from 0 itself. While we are specifying something only, it will take from that place. Suppose I'm giving here as 2, 2 comma 5. What will happen? I got an the iteration will start from 2 only. That will happen from here. 2, 3, 4. So that is how the looping statements are structured in Python. So that's all about the looping statements. If you have any doubts, we can clear it and move towards the next session. So if you have any doubts, we can clarify that right now and we can move towards the next session. Yeah, please remove the update statement above the else statement, and it's due to the title plus. Yeah, I understood that. So if you have any doubts, we can clear that right now and we can move towards the next session. Okay, fine. Okay. Then let's move to the next part of this program, which is the string operations. String operations. Okay, so let's see some of the string operators in this session, and after that we'll wind up. Initially, let's see some case operators in string, which is the lowercase, uppercase, and title operator. So lowercase or the lower function will convert all the uppercase characters into lowercase, and upper function actually converts all the lowercase characters into of the string into upper cases, and the title function will convert the string into a title case. So let's see some of the examples of the same, and just giving a variable called text here, and I am AI. I'm printing text dot I am AI. So the lowercase letters actually get converted to an uppercase letters in the upper function. Let's see text dot lower right now. The uppercase letters got converted into lowercase. So everything is in lowercase right now. Let's see one more example, which is the title case, which is I am AI. So see that what a title case does is actually see if there is any white spaces between the words, and it will take the first occurrence after the white space as a capital letter and replace that with a capital letter and gives that in a title format. That is why I got the first letter I and space, then the A after the space, and again the A after the space got as the capital letters here. So that is how the capital letter works, or the capital or the title function actually works in a Python environment. Now let's see some other operators, which are we have some operators like count, then ends with, then we have find, then we have format, and like that. We have so much of other variables also, that functions also inside the Python string functions. So let me give another example here. Text equal to um, I think I'm just checking that print text dot count of I. Ideally it should return 2. Yeah, I got 2 as the answer because there are 2 i's inside I am Karthik, so I got the value 2 here in this statement. So what will happen if I give another value, like suppose I need to give a string inside, or if I'm making a substring, searching a substring, or just taking the count of the substring. X dot count of Karthik. I need to get 1 here. Yeah, I got 1. Now let's see another operator called ends with. Okay, so it checks and gives either true or false if the condition is satisfying one. Next, I'm just giving a variable called value called image dot jpg, and result equal to text dot ends with of jpg. Print oh, text equal to. So it is actually ending with .jpg, so that's why I got the result as true. So I will give an example or an instance where you can use this ends with value or ends with function. Suppose I have a folder full of images mixed with so many formats, like JPG is there, PNG is there, then TIFF or TIFF is there, then BMP is there. So many formats are available. I need to take only the images which is in JPG format. So I can iterate through that folder and can check that if the text or the value or the name of the image is ending with .jpg or not. If we are giving such a condition, we can actually filter out those images which is ending with .jpg only, so that we can take or we can remove those kind of images to some other folders, or so we can do it accordingly according to the convenience. So let's see another function here, which is find text equal to I am Karthik and I am, and Okay. So result is equal to x dot find Karthik print result. Okay, so I got 5 as the output of this query. So let's see why I got 5 as the output. I is standing at the 0th index. See, this white space is actually standing at the first index, A at the second index, M at the third index, and this space at the fourth index, and K at the fifth index. So Karthik is actually getting started from the fifth index. So that is why I got that substring or the value is actually at the fifth index. Let's see some other values. Like let's see something which is not inside this thing. I'm giving okay, just rephrasing my name as Karthik. Let's see the output of this -1. It is because it's not inside this text actually, or this string actually. I'm just giving another name here, Josh. But also I'm getting a -1 because such a substring or the thing that you are looking inside the main string is not in that string actually, or in that major string. So that is why I'm getting a -1 there. Let's see another. Now let's see another function which is lower. Okay, so another variable I am initializing here, var equal to I am AI. Then I need to check or just giving that as is lower of dot is lower. True, because every letter in this string is in lowercase only. So that is why I'm getting a true here. What will happen if I'm getting it like this? I'll get a false because A is a capital letter here. Okay. Now let's see the opposite or the function which is similar to or which does the opposite action of is lower, which is upper. What will happen if I give is upper here? I'm not changing the string right now. I'm just changing the function only. Is upper. I'll again get a false because A is only the uppercase letter which is available in this string. Rest of them are not in uppercase, so I get a false. I'm making everything into capital here. And AI. Okay, so I got a true statement here or value as true here. Now let's see another case or another function which is really important while you are doing some industrial level coding or something. So I'm just taking a list which is the I'm giving a list here. I am I just gave the same string which I have used in the previous cell IMAI as three elements of this list, which is I as the first element, AM as the M as the second element, and AI as the third element. Suppose I need to make this as a string, if it is possible or not. Yes, it's possible to do that with the help of join function, which is print dot dot join str1 MAI. Suppose I am just removing this space from here. What will happen? I got the same thing printed without any space. I'm giving a hyphen here. What will happen? I got the three elements separated with a hyphen. So whatever if I'm giving inside this thing, I got that as a delimiter or the extractor of the values. Suppose I'm giving some integer values, 3. What will happen? See, that is repeated between the elements in the list. So that is how you can actually specify something if you are needing to print between the list, or if you are converting that into a string. If you need to specify something, or if you need to do that in a predefined manner, like suppose I need to put a hyphen between all the elements in a list and convert that into a string, just generally give here a hyphen only. You'll be able to do that. Okay, so that is how the join function is working. Now let's see another function called replace. Let's see how that replace function is actually working. Again, str1 equal to I am Karthik, and just replacing print str1 dot replace Karthik with PI. IMAI. So see that replace function is used to replace a substring or replace a search string inside the string with some other value. So the syntax of replace operation is like that. String dot replace old substring with the new substring. So let's do another thing. I'm just giving HICK. What will happen? I got I'm Karthik only because there is no substring which is KARTHICK here. So I got the old or the string that I have right now with me in as the output itself, because there is nothing to replace there. I don't have anything to replace, so that is why it is getting like that. So these are some of the string operations that we need to discuss. These are some of the important string operations that we need to discuss. So with that, we are winding up today's session. If you have any doubts, we can clarify that and we can wind it up. So if you have any doubts, we can clarify that right now. Okay, I got 2 all clears. If you have any doubts, we can clarify that right now. Okay, good. Okay, so thank you guys. So we can group again by tomorrow this time, and we can discuss some other aspects of Python itself. So we are going to cover the function and recursion tomorrow. So yeah, so that is the agenda for tomorrow. Thank you guys. Good night.